Right, it's dinner time. It's in between the lessons, and a few of you might be a little bit unsure about this essay question about explain. Well, it's not explain, is it? It's individuals such as Peel, Howard, and Fry were the main reason for the many changes to the prison system, 1700 to 1900. Well, you've got different factors on your sheet that you could potentially talk about when you come to do this exam question. Let's have a look what I've written down on here. So, the bloody code. Right, so that factor, if that's one of your paragraphs, it's going to be all about the bloody code ending. The bloody code ended because, well, for a number of reasons. It ended because, well, people's ideas changed about punishments. They thought they should fit the crime. And the idea of the bloody code was to deter people from wanting to commit crime in the first place. But it wasn't working, because crime rates were actually rising. And there's a number of other reasons, but the crucial thing is, how did that lead to the prisons changing? Well, a huge number of prisoners were being executed, or criminals were being executed, and so they didn't need looking after, because they were being killed. But then when the bloody code ends, there needs to be something done with these criminals to punish them, and the main form of punishment became prison. So the bloody code ending was really important for prisons changing, because suddenly you got large numbers of prisoners, totally massive compared to what you had before. And also, when I'm on that point, transportation ending is another reason why prisons had to be changed, so they were more fit for purpose. And linking to this, because you've got so many more prisons, and because it became the main reason for punishment, the government took over the prisons to run the prison system, because it was in the government's interest to make sure the one main method of punishing people was a method they were going to use. There's other things as well, what have we got on the sheet? The old system not being very good. Well, you should... Hold on, I'm just recording something. Well, you should be able to get that, because we've talked about it this morning already, and you're kind of good at that, but, you know, like the overcrowding, the prisoners all being mingled in together. You've got the role of the reformers. So those people, John Howard and Elizabeth Fry, they wrote things, they investigated things, they raised awareness of how ridiculous the old system was. And of course, Robert Peel, who eventually was the Prime Minister, but actually at the time when he passed the Galls Act, which said that the prisons had to change, he was Home Secretary. So there's a bit for you. All of those people, they were motivated for different reasons, usually religious involvement within the case of John Howard and Elizabeth Fry, but they compelled other people to agree with them. For example, with Fry writing his reports, and with Howard writing his reports, and Elizabeth Fry raising awareness by spreading it to other Quaker groups, so other religious people got involved. What else we got on here? Reasons for punishment. Okay, so the reason for punishment changed from a deterrent to try to reform the person, and because that's kind of to do with ideas changing. And of course there were problems with the separate system in the mid-19th century, because it was sending people insane. So they moved to the silent system, where people had contact with each other, they just couldn't talk. But also, of course, the problem with the separate system was that it was incredibly expensive to keep the prisoners separate all the time. So they tried to change things a little bit, so it was a little bit less expensive. And there's some help.